Is the safety of the American public being prioritized, or are we looking at the start of a massive logistical overreach? With reports of Ebola outbreaks circulating in parts of Africa, the federal government has quietly moved to implement a series of strict screening protocols at major international airports across the United States. This isn't just a recommendation, it is a mandatory shift in travel procedure that could fundamentally change the way you interact with international transit hubs. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures that you stay informed on the policies that impact your daily life. Let's dive into the details. The current policy is specifically targeted at Americans and travelers who have recently visited the Congo, South Sudan, or Uganda within the last 21 days. If you fall into that category, you no longer have the luxury of landing at any airport of your choosing. Instead, you are required to re-enter the country through select airports where enhanced screening procedures are now in full effect. The 3 airports designated for this high-level surveillance are Washington Dulles International Airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, and George Bush Intercontinental Airport. Now, what does this actually look like on the ground? It means that if you are flying in from these specific regions, you are being funneled into a specialized track. You aren't just going through customs, you are undergoing health evaluations designed to detect potential exposure to the Ebola virus. This is a significant development because it represents a bottleneck in our international travel system. By limiting these arrivals to 3 major hubs, the government is essentially creating a containment zone that allows health officials to monitor passengers much more closely than they would at smaller, regional airports. But why these 3? These are major transit veins for the United States. Washington Dulles is a key gateway for international and government-related travel. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson is arguably the busiest airport in the world, and George Bush Intercontinental serves as a massive hub for southern and international flights. By focusing on these specific locations, federal authorities are clearly signaling that they want total control over the influx of travelers coming from high-risk regions. So, what does this mean for the average American? For starters, if you are a frequent international traveler, the landscape of your return trip has just become more complicated. You can expect longer wait times, more invasive questions, and, in some cases, direct interaction with public health officials upon landing. From a political standpoint, this is a calculated move to mitigate public fear. By implementing these measures, the current administration is attempting to project an image of control, a way to say, "We have a handle on this," before a local health issue can spiral into a national political crisis. However, critics are already raising questions about the threshold for these decisions. Is this a proactive step to ensure our borders and our health systems remain secure, or is it an overreaction that sets a precedent for how we handle future health threats? We have to look at the historical context here. Historically, the United States has had varying levels of success with health-related screening. When we look at previous outbreaks, the effectiveness of airport screening has been a subject of heated debate among health experts. Some argue that temperature checks and questionnaires are mere theater, while others insist that these protocols act as a vital early warning system. Who is most affected? Obviously, the travelers themselves, but also the airlines operating these routes. Airlines now have to coordinate directly with federal agencies to ensure that their manifest lists are shared, tracked, and prioritized. This level of cooperation suggests that the government is taking the risk of importation very seriously. This brings us to the core issue, the balance between public safety and the freedom of movement. We are living in an era where global health is inherently tied to national security. When a virus breaks out thousands of miles away, it is only a flight away from our front door. The fact that the government is funneling people through Dulles, Atlanta, and Houston tells me that they are preparing for the worst-case scenario. Whether that scenario actually happens is one thing, but the preparation itself tells us a lot about the current mindset in Washington. Ultimately, this is a test of our domestic infrastructure. If these airports can successfully manage the surge and identify potential risks without massive chaos, it will be touted as a triumph of federal management. If they fail, or if the process leads to significant delays and privacy concerns, you can bet that the opposition will be using this as a talking point to highlight bureaucratic incompetence. It is a high-stakes gamble on the part of the agencies involved. They are walking a tightrope between being responsible and being seen as intrusive. So, what do you think about this? Is the government doing the right thing by strictly filtering travelers from these nations, or is this just another example of federal overreach that complicates your life for little real-world gain? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know where you stand on these new health mandates. This is a developing situation, and we will be monitoring the statistics as they emerge. As long as these health risks persist, we can expect these, or perhaps even stricter, protocols to remain in place. Don't get caught off guard the next time you head to the terminal. Stay alert, stay informed, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next update on this shifting story. I'll see you in the next one.